everybody! This is Splash of Gas with Dave Weicker, a NASCAR and racing podcast. We are officially days away from the 2026 Great American Race, the Daytona 500. And tonight, the Duels. Single car qualifying was last night. Kyle Busch would be on the pole, followed by Chase Briscoe. Very exciting time and so much action about to occur on the high banks of Daytona. ARCA, trucks, O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and of course the Daytona 500. Interviews live from Daytona with Truck Series drivers Jason White and Nick Leitz. Preseason preview of the 2026 Cup Series, predictions and drivers to look out for in the O'Reilly Auto Parts, and of course the Daytona 500. Discussions with Dave breaks down all the off-track news. Paint Scheme of the Week Part 2. NASCAR History Time, plus so much more on this Daytona Time edition of Splash of Gas. As always, we're sponsored by Magical Travel with Dave, aka Disney Dave Weicker, my father. He will be able to help you with all your Disney and Universal vacation needs. He can be reached at DisneyDaveW@Verizon.net. Please make sure you follow all the Splash of Gas social medias for midweek and on-track updates. Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube are all Splash of Gas with Dave Weicker. Now for discussions with Dave. Let's get right into it. Part 1. First-time Cup winners in 2026. In 2026, on the full-time Cup Series side, there is 11 drivers that have yet to win a points-paying Cup Series race. Cody Ware, John Hunter Nemechek, Zane Smith, Ty Gibbs, Connor Zilisch, Ryan Preece, Noah Gragson, Todd Gilliland, Carson Hocevar, Riley Herbst, and Ty Dillon. I believe at the end of 2026, there will only be 7 of non-winners left in that group. Believe that Connor Zilisch, Ryan Preece, Carson Hocevar, and Ty Gibbs each get at least one win in 2026. Zilisch, we just saw dominate the Xfinity Series last year. Yes, he's going to have to get used to racing the Cup cars against the top talent. We already saw him in the 88 up front in the Clash. Not sure if Zilisch can score a win on an oval, but on those road courses, which we know he's a whiz kid at, think he can nab one of those. Ryan Preece, we just saw how determined he was after winning the Clash. He's ready to get a points-paying Cup Series race underneath his belt. I said last year I thought Ty Gibbs would get his first win. That didn't happen. He came very close. Think he'll punch that ticket this year. Last but not least, Carson Hocevar was just talking about how Spire signed him or extended his contract long term. Do believe that Carson learned a lot from last season, and he's going to use that experience to nab a win in 2026. Moving right along, New Smyrna looking. Been a lot of action at the half-mile track of New Smyrna, which is several miles from Daytona. The World Series of Asphalt occurs there during Speedweeks. Clyde Hart Memorial on Tuesday night. Was there in person for the Clyde Hart last year. Truly an awesome sight with all the super late models buzzing by. So far, on the Tour Modified side, Paulie Hartwig III, a Galloway, New Jersey native, just saw him run in Allentown and in Atlantic City, nabs the win. Ryan Preece is victorious also. And another New Jersey guy we just saw racing in the indoors. We'll see him throughout pit lane. Ryan Skip Flores. Mentioned the Clyde Hart, Carson Brown, and Dawson Sutton clash at the end of that one on Tuesday night. Carson Brown wins and is victorious. Dawson had something to say about Brown's hard racing at the end. Jade Averdezian wins her first ever super late model race earlier in the week. Also, we'll keep you updated on all the action from New Smyrna. More Truck Series news. Was talking about how stacked the Truck Series race Friday night is going to be at Daytona. And Cletus McFarland, Garrett Mitchell, has been officially cleared by NASCAR, and he will drive the number 4 Chevy entry for Nice Motorsports. Episode 1 this week, I was talking that the Clash should get moved back to Daytona. For 2027 and moving forward, there are now rumors that NASCAR is looking at several different venues, with one of them being Talladega, that is about to go over major track renovations. Man, would that be awesome. Now for trivia question time for this episode. The question is, which NASCAR driver holds the record for most consecutive wins in a season? Answer coming at the end. Paint Scheme of the Week Part 2. Did a little bit of a preview in episode 1 this week. Yes, it is 25 years since the passing of Dale Earnhardt Sr. in the Great American Race. His grandson, Bobby Dale Earnhardt, will be driving in the ARCA race, and he has a throwback paint scheme to Senior's Good Wrench number 3 paint scheme. Very neat to see that scheme back on track on the high banks. Now for NASCAR History Time. Daytona 500s of the past. 1980. Buddy Baker delivered one of the most dominant performances in 500 history. Baker was behind the wheel of the Rainier Racing iconic 28 Gray Ghost Oldsmobile, a car that was built by fellow Hall of Famer Waddell Wilson. Baker overwhelmed the field in 1980, running and leading 143 of the 200 laps and posting an astonishing average speed of over 177 miles an hour. Despite the race being slowed by 5 caution flags, it still stands as the fastest Daytona 500 ever. Also notable, Janet Guthrie finished in 11th place. 1997, Jeff Gordon. Driving for Hendrick as the organization swept the top 3 finishing positions for the first time in the Daytona 500 history. Gordon captured the victory with his Hendrick teammates behind him, Terry Labonte finishing 2nd, and Ricky Craven bringing it home 3rd. The triumph carried special meaning. From victory lane, Jeff Gordon placed a call to team owner Rick Hendrick, who was unable to attend the race as he underwent treatment for his leukemia, making the win even more significant for the entire Hendrick Motorsport organization. An organization that Jeff Gordon still works with to this day. And that wraps up Discussions with Dave, Part 1. Now for the 2026 preview of the NASCAR Cup Series. We start off number 1 for Trackhouse Racing, driving a Chevy again, Ross Chastain. Saw him win the Coca-Cola 600 last season. What can he do to back that up? Number 2, Team Penske Ford, Austin Cindric. Saw him win at Dega last year as well. Number 3 for Richard Childress is Austin Dillon. Saw him be dominant and win in Richmond in back-to-back years. He did it clean in 2025 and punched his ticket to the playoffs. Can they make the playoffs with the new playoff change with the chase? We'll see. Number 4, Front Row Motorsports, Ford, Noah Gragson. Fortunately, saw Noah have his qualifying time disallowed on Wednesday for putting his hand to block the window. That is a no-no in the NASCAR rulebook now. Number 5, Chevy for Hendrick Motorsports, last year's champion, Kyle Larson. Brad Keselowski, number 6, Ford for Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing. Brad unfortunately broke his leg in a ski trip accident. What can he do in the 500? Daniel Suarez, he was with Trackhouse last season. He moves to Spire. They were ripping and roaring, bumping and banging in the madhouse at the Clash. What can Daniel do with his first season with Spire? Kyle Busch, number 8 for Richard Childress. He did win the pole, was the fastest Wednesday night for the 500. Can he get his first 500 win? We'll find out. Chase Elliott, number 9, Hendrick Motorsports Chevy 2020 Series champ. And typically year in and year out, recently is the sport's most popular driver. Ty Dillon is returning to Kaulig Racing in their number 10 Chevy entry. Saw Ty come in the spotlight last year in the bracket challenge when he knocked off the top seed Denny Hamlin in the first matchup, making it to the championship. Just spoke about Denny Hamlin, number 11 for Joe Gibbs Toyota. Had a heartbreak in the championship race last year in Phoenix. What does Denny do to back that up? Ryan Blaney, driver of the number 12 Team Penske Ford. Blaney is rocking a thick mustache right now, if you've seen him on TV recently. Should be a championship contender later in the season. AJ Allmendinger, driver of the 16 for Kaulig Racing. Spoke to AJ about a month ago when he was preparing for the Rolex 24. Number 17 Ford for RFK, Chris Buescher. RFK did not have any wins last year. They will be hungry to rattle them off in 2026. Driver of the Joe Gibbs 19 Toyota, Chase Briscoe. Chase is starting on the front row for the 500 after being second fastest in the Wednesday night single car qualifying. Another Joe Gibbs car, driver of the 20, Christopher Bell. That brings us to the Wood Brothers car, Josh Berry, a Ford. Saw Berry win in Vegas last year, getting his first Cup Series win, making the playoffs. Number 2, Team Penske Ford, Joey Logano, a 3-time series champ. Joey is rocking a bald look for 2026. With the Chase playoff system, how will Logano fare with that? 2311, number 23, Bubba Wallace in the Toyota. Saw Bubba win the Brickyard 500 last year. Number 24 Chevy for Hendrick Motorsports. Back-to-back Daytona 500 champs. He's won the last 2. William Byron. No one has won 3 in a row. Unfortunately, little sneak peek from the duel race last night. Willie B is going to have to go to a backup car. Can crew chief Rudy Fugle get it going in time? We'll find out. Todd Gilliland in the 34 for Front Row Motorsports. Those front row cars have been typically fast at the Supermotor Speedways. What can Todd do? Another 2311 racing entry, Riley Herbst in the 35. Zane Smith driving the 38 for Front Row Motorsports in the Ford. Can the past Truck Series champ get the victory lane at the Cup Series level this season? Cole Custer, 41 for Haas Factory Team. They switch from Ford to Chevy. What effect will that have on them? John Hunter Nemechek, driving the 42 for Legacy Motor Club, a Toyota. And his teammate driving the 43 for Legacy, Eric Jones. Tyler Reddick will be piloting the 45 for 2311 Racing once again. Can Tyler get the victory lane after being winless in 2025? Ricky Stenhouse Jr. just had him on the show 2 weeks ago, was chatting with him in the truck pits. He'll be in the truck race in Daytona. Can Ricky nab another 500 win? Driver of the 48 Chevy for Hendrick Motorsports, Alex Bowman. Number 45 Chevy for Rick Ware Racing. Rick Ware switches from Ford to Chevy for this year, and that will be piloted by Cody Ware. The last of the 4 Joe Gibbs cars, Ty Gibbs driving the 45 Toyota. As I was saying earlier on the episode on Discussions with Dave, do believe Ty can get the victory lane in 2026. Ryan Preece driving the 60 for RFK, saw him be victorious in the Clash. Can he keep that momentum going for the start of the season? Another young driver who I think is going to get a win in 2026 is driver of the 77 Spire Motorsports Chevy, Carson Hocevar. Connor Zilisch, the only rookie in this year's field for the Cup Series, takes the jump after being super successful in the Xfinity Series last season, driving the number 88 for Trackhouse. Last but not least, SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen, will be driving the Trackhouse Chevy 97. He was 88 last year, but is switching numbers. And that is the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series Preseason Preview. Now for Discussions with Dave, Part 2. Homestead, Miami, expected to remain season finale in 2027? I say, heck yeah. I was saying last year, Phoenix is great. Those restarts are very exciting. It just doesn't add up to be a championship track. The way the overtime rule is set, a crazy restart can decide a championship. And that's what we saw in the Cup Series, and that get taken away from Denny Hamlin. Yes, of course, NASCAR is going back to the chase, so that does take it away, but Homestead has given great final races of the season previously. Think it's a great move that they keep having the season finale in Miami. Next topic, Wendy's has extended their sponsorship with Trackhouse Racing. Big fan of that because in Daytona, they literally bring in a pop-up Wendy's and are giving away cheeseburgers, nuggets, fries. After a long night of racing, it's nice to have that in the mornings, I must say. One of my traditions is grabbing a bag of Wendy's and watching the Xfinity qualifying from the deck there. Excited that they have extended their partnership with Trackhouse. Moving right along, Nice Motorsports is set to honor Greg Biffle's legacy with a special tribute at Daytona. With the untimely passing of Greg the Biff, throughout this season, we are going to see tributes for Greg Biffle. I've already seen them with the Duels. AJ Allmendinger, who drives a 16 now for Colleague, is rocking the same 16 that Biffle had on his car. Exciting to see those. Remember, it was just a couple years ago watching Biff in his last Daytona 500. Final topic on Discussions with Dave for this episode. Front Row Motorsports lands a partnership with Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission. The number 38 for Chandler Smith literally has a largemouth bass on the side of the car, and it says Holland Bass. That is cool. Caught my eye yesterday when it was coming out for the practice. Very cool paint scheme. Best of luck to Chandler and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission. Getting down to the nitty-gritty. Drivers to look out for: Daytona, O'Reilly Auto Parts. Carson Kvapil in the 1. Seen him quick on the super speedways. Can he get his first O'Reilly Auto Parts Series win? We'll see. Jesse Love, the first of the RCR cars we will talk about. Jesse won this race last year and was the champion, as we know. Next two drivers, Junior Motorsports, Justin Allgaier, 2024 Series champ. Sammy Smith has several wins at the bigger tracks with them. Corey Day in his first full-time O'Reilly Auto Parts season. Hendrick Motorsports. What can the young dirt phenom do in a full O'Reilly season? We'll be watching Day closely how he bodes in his first full-time season. Giovanni Ruggiero is hopping in the 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing. The young Ruggiero was victorious in Talladega in the Truck Series race. What can he do in the O'Reilly car for Gibbs? Austin Hill, driver of the 21 for RCR. As Jesse Love said yesterday, Austin is just so good at these drafting style tracks. For sure a favorite in this one. Harrison Burton and Jeb Burton. Harrison for Sam Hunt Racing in a Toyota, and Jeb Burton in a Chevy for Jordan Anderson Racing. Both have wins on drafting tracks at Talladega and Daytona. Sam Mayer in the 41, one to look out. An aggressive driver. We saw Sam get suspended for the season finale in Phoenix. What does he do to back that up in Daytona? Think he'll be at the front. Raja Karuth in the 88 entry for Junior Motorsports. We saw the 88 car win the summer race. It should be fast and up front, I think. Last but not least, our good buddy Josh Williams is returning to DGM Racing in their 92. Saw Josh be on the front row in Dega last season. Believe Williams can be up front late and have a chance. Now, the drivers to look out for, the Daytona 500. We start with two guys that have won it before, Austin Cindric and Austin Dillon. Those guys have the patience and are pretty good with drafting. The grizzled vet, Brad Keselowski, coming off an unfortunate broken leg over the winter. Brad is walking around pits with a cane. Keselowski is determined to get his first Daytona 500 win. Can it happen this Sunday? Kyle Busch, the guy that sits on the pole, fastest in single car qualifying. Can he keep that 8 up front? Chase Elliott, Hendrick, those guys are just so quick at Daytona, as well as teammate William Byron, as we know has won the last two 500s. Byron and Elliott, if they can draft together with their other teammates, I think both those guys will have a heck of a shot to win. Denny Hamlin has won the 500 3 times previously. Can he get that 11 back in victory lane? Ryan Blaney, driving the Ford for Team Penske, hasn't won a 500 but has won the summer race at Daytona previously. Also, can't forget both of Brad Keselowski's teammates at RFK, Chris Buescher and Ryan Preece. Joey Logano in the 22 Team Penske should be flying. Another Toyota to look out for is the 45 of Tyler Reddick for 23XI Racing. And 2023 500 champ Ricky Stenhouse Jr., again with Hayek Motorsports, a single car team that works their tails off. Mr. 7-time Jimmy Johnson is driving the 84 for Legacy Motor Club. Another past 500 champ, Michael McDowell in the 71 for Spire Motorsports. Last but not least, and from the open cars, what I think will have the best chance to win, the 67 of Corey Heim. Last year's truck champ is on a 12-race cup schedule for 23XI this season. Can Corey get the 67 up front? And those are the drivers I will be looking out for the Daytona 500. Now for our garage chats with Truck Series drivers Jason White and Nick Leitz. Here's what they had to say before the practice session yesterday. David Weicker here with Jason White, about to do the Truck Series practice right here at Daytona. How you feeling, man, for another Daytona truck race?
Oh, feeling really good. It's always fun to get down here and, blow the cobwebs off tonight in practice and see what we can do with this Ford Racing F-150 and see if we can get her in the show.
Sounds great. A lot to build on from last year, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I've been here long enough now to know that it's all about putting yourself in a position to be there when it counts, and that's really all you got to do. Is you just, like we were last year, we're inside the inside row in third for the last 5 laps, and that's where we needed to be and ended up in the top 10. So we're obviously looking for better than a top 10. We really want to be in the top 5, or we want to win one of these things. That's kind of what we're all about too. So we've just got our sponsors showed up with More Core Diamond Drilling, and we're hoping that we can show them some good results and have them riding on board. But this Team Rayum has really stepped up their program with all of these trucks, with Frankie's truck and Josh's and mine, and we're gonna go see what we can do in practice and maybe draft together and see how we feel in the draft, and we'll go from there.
All right, awesome, sounds great. Best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
David Weicker here with Nick Leitz, about to do the Truck Series practice. How you feeling, man?
Pretty good. Never been to Daytona before, so excited to go out there in my number 5 Toyota Tundra Sim Products truck and see what we can do on just raw speed alone. Practice some mock U runs and just be ready to qualify tomorrow.
Got it. What are you doing to prepare with this being your first time, as you said?
Yeah, it's a really good team, so I want to be top shape, best I can for them. And I did a lot of sim time on Wednesday, at the TRD Center, and I feel like it was very beneficial since I've never been here before. And just hoping we can get a good finish out of it.
Got it. Anything you're going to be looking for, specifically when you're out there, or just trying to get a feel of the track?
First run, I think we're just going to, go out there, test it out, see how it rides. Second run, try to catch a end of a good pack, and then maybe do some mock Q runs there at the end.
All right, sounds good. We'll be cheering you on. Have a good one.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, Nick.
Great to talk to both of those guys. Now for Fast Davies bets. Truck Series, top 5 for Gio Ruggiero is plus 250. Saw him win in Talladega last year. I think that's a good one. Daytona 500, Chris Buescher top 3 is plus 600. Of course, anything can happen in Daytona. I think that's a good one to hit as well. Now for trivia question time. This episode's question is, what NASCAR driver holds the record for most consecutive wins in a season? Answer is the King, Richard Petty. In 1967, won an amazing 27 races and a record 10 in a row. Don't think anyone will ever break that record by the King. Now, our predictions for Daytona. Truck Series, give me John Hunter Nemechek in the 62 in the second Halmar Friesen truck. John Hunter has racked up Truck Series wins in the past and made big strides in the Cup Series last season. ARCA, give me Jake Finch. O'Reilly Auto Parts, I truly think it's going to come down to the 2 RCR cars. Give me Jesse Love to go back to back. Now, the one we will all be watching for all the marbles, the Daytona 500. Really been going back and forth on this one. So many good options, and anything can happen in the Great American Race. All in all, my prediction is Ryan Preece to keep his momentum going after the Clash and win the Daytona 500. Those are my predictions for the first races of the year for the Big 4 series. Please be vocal on social media, folks. Tell me who you think's gonna win. That brings us to the end of this episode. As always, we're sponsored by Magical Travel with Dave, aka Disney Dave Weichert, my father. He will be able to help you with all your Universal and Disney vacation needs. He can be contacted at disneydavew@verizon.net. Please make sure you follow all the Splash of Gas social medias for midweek and on-track updates. We'll be at Daytona throughout the weekend. Please tune in for that content. Just like I said, we'll be keeping you updated from the pits, folks. Splash of Gas out. Time to head back to the track.